What's up?
What's up guys, welcome to another video. So this video is going to be more of a rant video. MK11, while I think it's a lot of fun, this game has a lot of issues to it. So like a couple weeks ago I had asked on Twitter, what you guys thought was like a major issues with this game, what you need to fix. So if I've compiled like all of that stuff you guys said, along with some of the things I think need to be changed. So I have a certain list I'm going to go over of all the things wrong with this game that NRS really needs to address and fix. This list is in no particular order, it's just all things I think NRS needs to address. So first things first, I want to talk about the meter system. The meter system in this game is kind of unique because most fighting games you have to build meter by doing special moves. Maybe you get meter by getting hit, maybe you get meter by hitting the opponent. But in this game you gain meter for doing nothing, which is kind of weird. So in other fighting games, it takes more skill. You have to like manage your meter. You have to be more strategic. In this game, you can just be like, oh, whatever, spend meter. It doesn't matter. It comes back. And that's the worst thing. Like even breakaways and stuff and all these defensive options you have. That's another thing in my list is the wake up options, but it stems from the meter system because you gain the meter so freely. You can just, do your wake up rolls, your wake ups, your breakaways and all this crap. And meter comes back just too quick in this game. Now I know for this game they're not going to just overhaul the meter system. It's going to stay the way it is. I just, there was this one stream, a podcast that had like Tom Brady, Ryu, I think Zyfox or whatever, some other people. And they mentioned, I forgot who mentioned it, was like, what you can do is, like you have some special moves in this game that doesn't have a meter burn option. Maybe give them a meter burn option. Or maybe give some moves like a double meter burn option that does different things just so you have more uses to spend your meter and it actually requires a little bit more resource management. Now I did like that idea, but I don't see NRS doing that because they're kind of lazy, as you're going to see when I go through the rest of these things that should have been fixed a long time ago. And that kind of leads me to what I was talking about, is the wake up options. Now in this game you can do wake up 3, wake up 2, you can forward roll, back roll, and then because you have all those options that leads to wake up jump, wake up buttons, wake up grab, there's just too many wake up options. In this game, when you knock somebody down, they don't have to really guess. You're the one that has to guess even though you knock them down. Because if you go in for a mid to like try to meter your opponent and they decide to forward roll, and if you make the mistake of committing the 2 hits of any string or go for like a slower normal and they go for a forward roll, you're gonna get full combo punished. So you're going to get full combo punished for them spending only 1 defensive bar. There's way too many wake up options in this game. Like the only way to really play it smart when you knock somebody down is just to really just back up and just put yourself back at the neutral. Maybe try to punish a forward roll or something, because if you go in and they go for a forward roll, you're going to die. Like the wake up system is kind of annoying, but the main issue is the forward roll. Like honestly, the forward roll, if they were to delete that completely, the wake up system wouldn't be so bad because there's option selects that you can deal with the back roll. Like you can do like a fast recovering normal, and then if they see to do the back roll, you can do, let's say if you're Liu Kang, you do the fly kick to punish it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with like an invincible wake up. I mean, that's fine or whatever, but having the forward roll really messes you up. You're forced to back up, or you're forced to just sit there and try to wait for it to punish. And since you're trying to wait to punish that, they can wake up buttons and then they take their turn back even though you knocked them down. I don't really like that. Hopefully it doesn't come back in the next NRS game. And like I said, just either delete the roll, or they gotta make it like an offensive and defensive bar, or 2 defensive bars, because it's way too good just to be 1 defensive bar. Alright, the next issue in this game, which is actually the biggest issue, what's holding it back the most, is his hitboxes. So I'm gonna have a double Johnny just to show you what I mean. So Johnny has this thing where he can do a lot of his strings. I'm going to use his forward 3, 4, 4. He does that against male character hitboxes. If he goes into his high fireballs, it jails on block, and he's able to get pretty good plus frames. However, against female hitboxes, which Johnny Cage, he does have a female hitbox for some reason. But anyway, you do it on him, and it completely whiffs. So I have him ducking, and this should jail on most characters, but as you can see on him, it completely whiffs. So this game has been out for a year as of this recording, and this is one of many hitbox issues that this game has. Like, I don't understand why in NRS games there's a thing of like female hitboxes. Why is female hitboxes a thing? Everybody should have, you know, relatively the same hitbox. I mean, obviously if you're a big character you have a bigger hitbox, but the point is, things that are meant to work on all the characters should work on all the characters. Like stuff like this, that should always work. And on all characters, like if you're blocking low and you do a high attack, this like, hold on, let me put them to duck. Like if you're ducking and you do a high attack and you're blocking, that should hit. High attack should only whiff if you're ducking. At least that's my personal opinion, that's how I see it. But on some characters, you do stuff like this, you know, this is supposed to hit them on block, because look, this man's blocking. But he has a female hitbox, so therefore it completely whiffs. And if you go to a character like Geras, you can do crap like this. And I think, if I'm not crazy, yeah, his stand 4 has plus frames of 3, but if you do it on a female hitbox character, it's no good. So stuff like that makes no sense. Johnny can like low profile. That's another thing. And some characters have like these mids, right, that are not supposed to have any kind of flawless block gap or poke gap in it, but some characters are able to like low profile it somehow and then hit you out of it. Like Katana's down 3 is like a big advocate of that. Why are characters able to do that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If certain strings are meant to be blocked completely with no gaps for you to press any buttons, why do some characters are able to low profile some things and hit you? It honestly, it boggles the mind. It doesn't really make sense. But like, it's in general, you know, this game has so many weird hitboxes. And you've had situations you're like, what? That hit me? That doesn't make any sense. I was behind him. It's kind of dumb. NRS really needs to fix their hitboxes. That is the biggest issue in this game. Alright, and the next thing has to do with characters that need nerfs and buffs. Like, case in point, my good friend Shao Kahn. Why is Shao Kahn one of the worst, if not the worst, character in this game? He has a restand that's -8 on hit that is punishable by most characters for an entire year. NRS, stuff like this requires an emergency patch, or at least say, okay, we will fix it in the next patch. It has not been fixed in a year, and I know they have to know about this because they on Twitter and people post these videos of all this crap every freaking day. Who else is really bad? Raiden. Why? Like, they have not buffed this character. What, just because Sonic Fox said Raijin was S tier, you're not gonna buff this character? Raijin's fucking ass. Yeah, it's his best variation, but it's fucking ass. It is trash. And even I did a video on this variation. I was way too generous saying it was A. Like, nah, it's viable. I think it's viable, but it's still just bad compared to all the other characters. It doesn't make any sense. And then some characters need to be nerfed. Joker, well, he just came out. I honestly, I was kind of surprised how good he is. I thought he was, well, how can I say? The only thing they need to fix for him is something with his Fatal Blow. I think his Fatal Blow is a little bit too much, but I mean, let him have his good normals and everything. Yeah, he can have that. I think he's a pretty fair top tier character, but whatever, he's fine. I just think the Fatal Blow canceling, it puts you in a unfair 50-50 where you can lose like half your life either way. So I don't like that personally. You guys may have a different opinion, but if Joker was left the same, I wouldn't mind so much. But the main thing, like characters like Johnny, I mean, they nerfed him. I don't know how that changes in the meta, but at least they fixed him. Jackie, they didn't do enough to Jackie. It should cost defensive bar for every single one of her leaps. Like, look, Cassie Subso D. Oh, I don't have it here. Cassie Subso D, the little, she can do a little jump thing, kind of like Jackie's, but way worse with her, whatever. She has a special move that does that. Every version of it costs defensive bar. Jackie's, that has a far better version, only the far one and the close one cost defensive bar. Yes, that does hurt her, but, I mean, still, she's still really oppressive. She has a 9-frame mid string that's -2. Why is it -2? After all of her strings, she has a legit bar situation, and I discussed the bars in a previous video. If you don't know what that is, basically, she does her string. You try to poke back, she can just backdash and whiff punish you every freaking time because she's only -2, and it's like her pressure is already freaking godlike. But that's fine. But then upgraded just gives her way too much because her weakness is supposed to be she can get zoned out. But honestly, her dash punch and her back 2-2 is so good at already fighting the zoners, and they give her a freaking leap, which they didn't even think about the third variations, which is another point I'm going to get to. Then this freaking lady, this freaking bitch right here, Cetrion. Listen, I made a video saying she's the best in the game. She may or may not be, but without a doubt, she is top 5. This lady, she has such good buttons, so many amazing Abare situations. Her damage is below average, but she still does damage. She does like 260 or whatever. It's not that bad. She chips you out a lot with her zoning, but like I said, she can keep her zoning, but her buttons are just way too good. They have to really tone that down. They've been knowing this character was top tier, and they only nerfed her teleport, which, I mean, at least they did that to make sure more fair, but she's still too good. They should have never given her a teleport to begin with. Like, who would give a zoner a teleport? Like, why you give her a teleport? Why you give her a teleport? It doesn't make, you know, any sense whatsoever. But there's a slight nerf to her buttons is all they really have to do. And then this guy, keep all his pressure, you know, let him be a pressure character, but just, come on, you gotta nerf his zoning. Why is Liu Kang able to pressure you, and then just zone you out at the same time? Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, you gotta have one or the other. Like, he can have his projectiles, but, you know, come on, they don't have to be as good as they are. And that's about it for the characters. I mean, that's just some major things. I mean, there's always gonna be a top tier, that's whatever, but there's just certain issues, like, you know, even if they don't nerf the top tiers, fine. I know people don't like nerfs, and nerfs are generally just kind of hurt the game, but at least buff the bad characters like Shao Kahn and Raiden. There is no excuse for them not being buffed. They are so bad, and they've been bad. It doesn't make any sense. And just a personal note, make Gearus's low sand trap from mid far to very far a mid and not a low, because fuck that shit. But anyway, moving on. Next thing, we need better anti-airs. In this game, jumping is fucking annoying. The only option that's consistent in some situations for some characters is flawless blocking, because not all characters have a good anti-air. Like my girl Cassie over here, she has pretty good anti-airs. A lot of other characters have good anti-airs, but some characters like this gentleman here, he don't got good anti-airs. The stand 1 may not be that good. In general, the down 2 in this game is kind of slow. It should not be a privilege to be able to anti-air somebody. If you have the skill and the reactions, you should be able to do it. So what I would say is, like how some other games do it, certain moves should have air, like anti-air invincibility. Meaning, let's say you do a down 2 with your character. Of course, obviously it's not invincible if the opponent does a grounded attack, a mid or whatever, you get hit. But it has certain invincibility frames against like aerial attacks. Or you can make it so against aerial attacks, the hurt box is lower. And what the hurt box is the box on where you can be hit, basically. Because when you do a down 2, your hurt box extends all the way to the tip of your hand, so you have the potential of trading with other attacks. But I would say make your hurt box a little bit lower, maybe to where like your head is, for example, for some characters, and make like your arm like have no hurt box, so that part's invincible to air attacks, just so you have a way to anti-air. Because some characters just can't anti-air. They have to flawless block, and then if you don't have a good flawless block, well, you're crap out of luck. You're really crap out of luck. So, and jumping is just too much in this game. There's no reason that you see an opponent jump kick, you see him do it, and you're like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And flawless blocking is good, but you know, there's counterplay around it, because you could empty jump, or hell, you can honestly change the timing of your jump-ins. That's the thing. I don't know how the pros do it consistently. I have mad respect to them, because you can do a jump punch, you can do a jump kick, and you can change the timing of it. And you don't, you know, when you flawless block, you gotta block within you know, like a 3-frame window, and the opponent can easily change the time and just mess up your flawless block. So basically, there's no consistent way to anti-air unless you're Ninja Killer and you're godlike. But for the most part, or for some characters, you just can't do it. They need to have just a little help to the anti-airs. I would just say make the down 2 a lot more reliable for all the characters, and that would be a good fix. Alright, now this is a big one, probably just as important as the hitbox system, and that is the variation system. The variation system in this game is complete garbo. I think they should just totally scrap it for the next game and just make it so you have one complete character. Maybe you can add, instead of variations, you have a certain special move you can add and change between it. I think that would be pretty cool. But this variation system is got to go, or NRS cannot be lazy with it. Like, I'm going to show you some variations. Second variation, trash. This character's just trash in general. Subs OD, complete garbage. Her third variation doesn't really make much sense. His first variation, why are you going to play it when you have the other two? Who the hell is going to play Wolf Sheet Legend at a high level? I mean, you can, but it's just way worse. This character has 3 good variations. She has 1 good variation. This is trash. No, this is a good one. This is trash, and our third variation is complete garbage. Sindel has good ones. Aaron Black, like, what's with Aaron Black? His other 2 variations are just complete, like, garbage compared to the first one. There's no reason to play it. Like, nobody will. Kung Lao, I'm not even going to talk about Kung Lao, you guys. I mean, some people have different opinions about him. I think he's just bad overall, but people seem to think he's good. Raiden, who thought of Joe Push? Who thought of this garbage variation? They took away his electric fly, took away his teleport. This character is not Raiden. What is this? I forgot if I mentioned it. Subs OD, garbage, terrible, no point. A lot of these third variations, they're just phoned in. They didn't even think about it. And hell, look, if you look at Johnny Cage, his third variation, freaking OP as hell. Do you really think they tested that shit? No, they just had their custom moves. They just slapped some shit together and then they rushed it out and gave it to us. That is what they did. Some are good, some are bad. Like Shang Tsung's second variation. You can't tell me that NRS actually thought this crap was viable. This crap is garbage. Nobody uses it in a competitive scene. The third variation, that was easy for them because they know we wanted to transform, so they like, oh, we'll just slap them all together. Luckily, it turned out okay. I would just say keep it as, you know, remove the variation system, just make your complete characters, and maybe you can add like a certain special move as a little bit of a customization. It'll make it a lot easier to buff or nerf a character because you don't have to worry about, like, let's say with Katana, you're like, crap, if I buff Fanfare in the wrong way, I buffed some of her normals, and then, oh wait, you buffed Highborn, which was already good, but you meant to buff Fanfare, and then you made this even more OP. You know, if you take away the variation issue, you don't really have to worry about that. So I would say just remove the variation system, make it everybody one complete character with some extra special moves. I mean, the similar thing I could think of would be like V-Skills from Street Fighter V. Like, now you can choose different V-Skills, which is basically like an added special move to each character. But, you know, you can expand on that. Maybe each character has like 5 to 10 different kind of special moves you can add, and it, you know, gives you a lot of variety. It'll be better than having just total useless variations. Doesn't make any sense. And this is another fix that I forgot his name. I think it was Ven was taken. I know it's a Page of Cage guy on Twitch. He showed a glitch in this game. If you press the right stick in the middle of a string, then the string won't come out. I don't know if NRS patched that yet, but if they did not, they gotta patch that ASAP, because that makes no sense why the right stick, that does nothing. Like, look, I'm pressing it right now. Don't do crap. It should not be affecting anything. So yeah, they gotta fix that glitch if they haven't already. And this one, next one is the Breakaway. Okay, so Breakaways, they're already kind of irritating. I mean, you get your combo and they break away, you're like, whatever. I don't like the idea of Breakaways. I like, you get your punish, you get your damage, you get your damage. But fine, Breakaways are gonna stay. But the way they are in this game, I don't like it. Here's the problem. Example with Spawn. If let's say I get you with my overhead combo with Spawn, I dash up, I do 2-4 into my tackle, and I go to enhance it. If you break away while I'm trying to do that combo, you know, you break away and my tackle hits you while you're breaking away, that has so much recovery that you can get up from your breakaway and then get a full combo punish on me. Why should I be punished? Like, why should you punish me because you broke away? You broke away, yes, you avoided the damage, but your punishment should be, now you have to guess the mix-up, because you don't have any defensive bar. But in this game, you have to worry about what combos you do with certain characters. If you do your regular B&B and they break, then you get full combo punished. Same thing with Sub-Zero. If he lands a freeze on you, then he does a cross-up jump kick, into the stand 2 and then back 1 whatever combo. If he finishes his back 1 2, you know, that string basically to go on the slide, if he finishes that string and you break away, you will get punished. So the way Sub-Zeros have to do that, they have to option select you and they have to like hit confirm everything in the middle of a combo. I mean, at least he can do that, but a character like Spawn has to do a lesser combo just so you don't break and punish him, because if he decides to go for his big damage combo, there's a freaking mind game if you're gonna break away or not. If he goes for a lesser safe combo and you don't break away, well, you missed a damage opportunity. But then if he goes for a big combo and you happen to break away, then you get punished. So it's a freaking mind game of what combo you're gonna do. That doesn't make any sense. Same thing with Raiden's Storm Cell. Off some of his strings, he hit confirms you into the Storm Cell. You break away, you can get up and punish him. Why are you able to punish people because you broke away? That is retarded and doesn't make any sense. So when you break away, they need to make it so you stay on the ground for a longer duration. They have to guarantee that if you break away, you're gonna get like put in a meaty situation where you have to guess between a strike and throw. And on the topic of breakaways, they gotta change what the button is. The button right now is down and block. That is retarded. If you are in the air, let's say you jump, and you're gonna jump and then crouch block, and then you get hit by an air projectile. The moment you get hit by the air projectile, you're in a juggle state. And if you press down and block because you're planning to block, you accidentally break away. The breakaway button should be L2 because L2 has no other purpose except for mercies and stand switch. So it should be L2 so we don't get all these accidental breakaways that we always get. Alright, and this last one on the list, maybe you won't all agree, but this is what I think. Basically, that like throws shouldn't be necessarily true highs, but let's say like on the startup and active frames of your down poke, you know, crouch 3, down 4, whatever, down 2, they should be invincible to throws during the startup and active frames. Because you know there's nothing worse. You know they're gonna throw you. You go for a down 2, and then you get thrown out of it because they did a back throw. You press triangle, you get escape fail, and they have a crushing blow associated with it. Then they have their throw crushing blow loaded. And that's another thing on a side note, I didn't actually have it on my list. Throw crushing blows should never come back. I never want to see them again. They are stupid. They should not be a thing. Like, no, go away. Throws are already good in this game. They do 14% damage, but in most other games they do like 10 to 12. So no crushing blow throws ever again, please. NRS, please. So back to what I was saying about this, like basically if you're gonna do a poke when it's starting up and while it's still able to hit your opponent, it should not be throwable. But during its recovery, yeah, let it be thrown, because some moves you could only punish it with throw. Like let's say you whiff a down 4, you know, you could punish it with a throw, because that's how throws work in this game. But I think that's pretty cool, and you know, down 4 is already hard enough to punish, to say, so you can keep stuff like that. And it makes sense being able to punish like pokes and down 2s on recovery with a throw, because you know it's recovery. Like if it's on recovery, that means it whiffs, so that's fine. But on the startup and active frames, you should not be able to be thrown out of your poke or down 2. Those should be invincible to it. But that's just my opinion. Like you guys might have like a different thoughts on it, which is fine. That's not really a big deal. It's like a little nitpick I have. But the rest of the stuff, yeah, man, this game has a lot of issues. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. Honestly though, a lot of this should have been fixed already. It's been a whole year, but I mean they fixed some little things, but this game is still have a long way to go. I don't know. This game had a lot of potential. I mean, it's still fun. I still enjoy it. I mean, honestly, not as much. I really love Grand Blue. I'm mostly playing Grand Blue for my fighting games. Honestly, if I wasn't an MK YouTuber, I probably wouldn't be playing this as much as I am now. I'd probably just barely touch it and just be focusing on Grand Blue. Not that I hate this game, you know, it's still fun, but oh man, they have a lot of issues with this game. But yeah guys, that's about it for the video today. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys next time.